All right, everyone, welcome back. On that same bank we were just working on with the Y high side secondary and 120 240 with the 208 high leg, but it's a 240 three-phase bank. But you got a 120 240 single phase service with the 208 high leg. Typically, utilities like to float the high side, meaning they will attach the H2s if that's what we're using. Be ground, or you can use the H1s regardless, but we're going to use the H2s in this. We're going to go H2 to H2 to H2 and float that. That means it's not tied to a ground. So we're going to show the different scenarios and what happens floated versus grounded. So right now we have got the bank energized. We don't have any faults. So we're going to step back down here to the bank. So this is the H2, the other side of it. It's not grounded. You can see them kind of jumping over here. This is the other end. This is typically what the power companies will want. They want the floated high side. So let's just test it and see what our voltage is. A, we had earlier 208. We're still right there at it. B phase 122. C phase 122. 243 A to C, 244 B to C, 240 A to B. Now, this is not grounded. If I were to lose squirrel, whatever, lightning, tree limb, and it takes this breaker out, bam, fuse just blew. This cutout is hanging open. Let's check our voltage. It is floated at this point. What do we have there, Kenny?
98.
98 when we had 208.
109.
When we had 120 roughly.
109.
When we had 120. 217.
192.
Actually 19.2.
Oh, 19 point, excuse me.
And we've got 205. Now, let's just take this. This is still open. If we had the bank grounded, this right here would be energized at primary voltage. It should be right at roughly 120 volts right now, but we're going to energize it. I'm sorry, we're going to ground it. So now we only have a 2 bank because this one is open. The red light is on only because it's being backfed, but this breaker is actually closed. And just to show you, we'll take it offline. It's still being backfed, but we grounded it. Check A phase. 188.
Yep.
125. 125. 223. 249. 226. It did affect the voltage, but is it enough to affect the customer where they're going to know? Everything still could be in operation enough for the customer to know, but what's eventually going to happen is these two are going to pick up the load. And if they do that, eventually you got the risk of burning these two up. When we float it, it's an incomplete circuit. These two don't know how to operate. You're calling upon the third. It's like, we need this guy to complete the circuit. Without him, we don't really truly know what to do. But if you take him away and you grounded us, you've made a temporary connection for us to operate, and we can still continue to work. But again, you have the possibility of eventually overloading the two simply because lightning, a squirrel, wildlife, something got into it and knocked this thing out. So that's why we typically float them. But Jason Leary, business partner of mine, co-founder of Three Phase Innovations, as well as many other great guys we got involved with this company. He's going to go into this a little bit more extensive. But right now, we just want to show you some of the features that this model can offer. But with that being said, we're going to shut this one down and move on to the next one. Thank you.